Hi, I'm Dr. Rashmi Yogesh, consultant fertility specialist at Khushi Fertility and IVF Centers, Bangalore. How much of physical rest is required post an embryo transfer? This is a very commonly asked question by women who go through an IVF embryo transfer. In a country like India, where IVF is a big ordeal, and when a lot of effort, time, and money is spent on an IVF cycle, every woman would want to be very sure that there's nothing wrong that happens from her end that can impede the pregnancy from happening. And therefore, the question that comes first and foremost would be, how much of rest do you think I should be taking post embryo transfer, doctor? And this is something which is very difficult to answer. When an embryo transfer is done, the embryo, be it a day 3 embryo or a day 5 embryo, would be there inside the uterine cavity trying to look for the perfect place for implantation. What actually happens during implantation is that the embryo goes deeper and deeper into the uterine layer endometrium. And as this goes on and on, there would be some changes that will happen in the endometrial layer. If the embryo continues to percolate into the layers of the endometrium, it is then that we say that the implantation process has started. This usually happens a couple of days post the embryo transfer, and then this continues as an ongoing process. What we call as the trophoblastic invasion of the embryo into the endometrial layer is nothing but the embryo putting its roots deeper and deeper into the layers of the uterus till it actually touches the deepest layer of the endometrium. The moment it touches the deepest layer of the endometrium, we see that the implantation is probably completed, and the uterine layer, which was called as the endometrium, will now be called as the decidua. This process is something that takes about a week's time, and therefore the time during the first 1 week post embryo transfer becomes very crucial, and of this the first 2 days become even more important. What we usually advise every woman post embryo transfer is that soon after the embryo transfer is done, 10 to 15 minutes of rest on the couch where the embryo transfer is done would be actually more than enough to facilitate a pregnancy, but one can continue to take rest for another hour post embryo transfer just to avoid any jerky movement. After this, she can resume all her normal day-to-day activities and continue to do everything that she does usually. Only restrictions post this would be to avoid having sexual intercourse till the day of beta HCG, and of course if the pregnancy is positive, we ask them to avoid intercourse for the first 10 to 12 weeks, only to ensure that there is no uterine contraction. The next important thing would be to avoid lifting weights that can cause some strain on the uterus as well as the pelvic ligaments. Post embryo transfer, most of the women who go through an IVF embryo transfer are on progesterone hormone that actually makes the ligaments lax, and the chances for these going into spasm are very high, and that's the reason why we tell these women to avoid lifting weights. This can also prevent triggering a uterine contraction. That could be something that would be detrimental towards implantation happening. The third most important thing for the lady, especially after an embryo transfer, would be to avoid long distance traveling on roads, especially because when long distance traveling happens, especially after a fresh embryo transfer and the ovaries are heavy, there is a possibility that the ovarian ligament, if at all it is quite long, and if the ovaries are quite heavy, there could be a chance that there could be some twist of the ovarian ligament, which is termed as ovarian torsion. To avoid this from happening, we ask them to avoid long distance traveling. This holds good more in a fresh embryo transfer rather than a frozen embryo transfer. If it is a frozen embryo transfer, there shouldn't be any risk in traveling. However, psychologically, both the doctor and the patient feels that traveling soon after the embryo transfer is not really very helpful, and therefore we avoid traveling for about 48 hours post embryo transfer. A lot of women have the misconception in their mind that if they do day-to-day tasks like cooking, and if they do things like folding clothes or probably sweeping up a room or mopping up the floor, can all be very strenuous for themselves. This is actually a misconception because these are activities which women can do in easily post-embryo transfer. As I previously told, the first 2 days tend to be a little more crucial, and therefore doing all these physical activities with a little care would be more than enough. One need not stop or refrain themselves from doing any of these activities. If they do get help, they can probably avoid this for a couple of days. I wouldn't recommend any woman to take complete bed rest for those 48 hours post the embryo transfer, and I wouldn't recommend any lady to take complete bed rest for 2 weeks post embryo transfer too. The reason behind this is that the progesterone hormone, which is given to support the pregnancy, has another phase to it. Progesterone hormone can cause blood clots, and this is what is called as thrombosis. Thrombosis can sometimes be quite dangerous to the lady's life. If a woman continues to take complete bed rest for 2 weeks post embryo transfer, there is always a risk for thrombosis to happen, and therefore ambulation becomes mandatory. To avoid thrombosis, the other important thing is proper hydration. If a lady takes say 4 liters of water every day orally post embryo transfer, this will not only prevent the blood clot formation, it will also facilitate pregnancy because blood clots can be hindrances towards implantation, and you're actually making your way towards pregnancy easier by doing a very simple thing, that is drinking water. Drinking enough of water and going to the washroom frequently will not prevent pregnancy, it will actually facilitate pregnancy because ambulation and hydration are very, very important for pregnancy to happen. Apart from that, if the water intake and the liquid intake is adequate, it also helps to prevent constipation, which is a very, very commonly faced problem post embryo transfer in women who are not hydrating themselves properly. And therefore, needless to say, a woman who continues to do all her routine physical activities with a little care and understanding that ambulation and hydration is a very, very important thing for pregnancy to happen. If she does all of these, the chances for pregnancy will surely improve. My advice to all those women who go through an embryo transfer would be to stay back in the clinic for an hour after an embryo transfer and then travel back home by road, whatever be the distance. A lady can even drive a 4-wheeler back home herself. However, after getting back home, doing all the things that she does for herself on a daily basis is something that she can continue to do even after that without taking anybody's help. The moment she gets back home, the first thing she should do is that keep her things in the right place so that she doesn't have to worry about going too often to big things, and keep everything very handy. And then first keep her medication safely and make a chart of those tablets and medications that she has to take so that she's quite regular with them. And make a place in the room where she can sleep or sit. A lady can sit for long hours and watch television, or she can read books, and it's not really required for her to sleep with her foot end elevated. I would only recommend about 2 hours of sleep in the afternoon and 8 hours of sleep in the night as the total sleeping period. The other 14 hours are times for her to do all her routine work, walk about, and do all the other things that she would continue to do. I would suggest women to read books to keep their mind calm, and I consider psychological and mental rest to be more important than physical rest for pregnancy to happen. Apart from that, telling herself a few things on a daily basis post-embryo transfer are very important. The first thing would be a prayer to be very sure of her own strength in getting pregnant. Connecting to God gives her a lot of strength that pregnancy is something that is bound to happen, if not this time, but the next time. And this will give her a lot of strength both to face a negative report and a positive report. As we all know that IVF is not 100%, it's very important that the lady is psychologically prepared to face anything that can happen. The second important thing is she should tell herself that she is somebody who can take anything that comes to her during these 15 days and will not take it too deeply to her mind or heart. When a lady lives in house for 12 days or 14 days post-embryo transfer, there could be social problems that crop up, and facing them very calmly is very important. And this is one another reason why we ask women not to stay back at home for 2 weeks post-embryo transfer and gloom themselves up. In fact, if they can get back to work a couple of days later, or even continue to work from home the very next day post-embryo transfer, or even from the day of embryo transfer itself, it actually keeps their mind occupied and will give them a lot of mental peace. The third thing they have to tell themselves, apart from these two things, are to tell themselves that they are physically and mentally strong to take any pain. We see that women try to have an element of self-pity when they go through the treatment procedures. They have to tell themselves that they're going through all of these to achieve something called as pregnancy, and they are achieving it in a much more bolder way than what other women do, and therefore they should be proud about themselves and not feel that they're doing something which is not usual. These three things will make them really strong to be able to take up the waiting period of the 2 weeks as well as the report. I feel waiting for 2 weeks is the most difficult task for any lady. Doing a beta HCG a week post embryo transfer is also a very wise decision. However, sometimes the report could be decisive and women can go into a negative thought process if at all it is not showing up with a positive report, and therefore not believing the first week beta HCG level and redoing it after 2 weeks is very, very crucial. I would suggest all women post embryo transfer to engage in prayers, listening to music, and ensuring that they are in their best mindset would be very helpful for pregnancy to happen. And doing all the physical activities, moving about at home the way they usually do, and doing simple tasks would actually add to their pregnancy rates. And it is not important that they should be actually lying down on the couch. They can even sit on the couch for long hours, and that also is a kind of physical rest. However, walking in between those hours of lying down or sitting for long hours is very, very crucial. As I already told, ambulation and walking is very important. After every major meal, it's important that they walk for at least 10 minutes to ease digestion. Apart from that, they can also do deep breathing exercises that can improve their chances for pregnancy by increasing oxygenation of the blood vessels at the level of the uterine bed. They also have to understand that eating healthy is very important during this phase, and therefore eating only the right stuff and not the junk food, and eating little at frequent intervals would be very, very helpful. Doing things like fasting or intermittent fasting during these 2 weeks is definitely not recommended. Taking a lot of liquids and fruit juices, especially fresh fruit juices, would be very, very helpful. I would recommend every lady to just continue doing all that she was doing even before the embryo transfer the way she was doing, but with a little extra care would be all that is required post embryo transfer. And a pregnancy that is bound to happen will surely happen, and bed rest is not something that is required and not something that will add to the pregnancy rate. But trying to do things carefully and avoiding falls and jerks and ensuring that she keeps her mind stable and calm and connects herself to God with prayers would surely increase the chances of pregnancy. So wish you all the best, ladies. Women have to be very sure about pregnancy happening every time they try, and never get disappointed if it doesn't happen, because pregnancy is something that will happen when the right time comes, and this time is decided by God.